Hey y'all, um, this is Stevenson Michel. Um, I'm a record producer and a rapper, and I'm here to talk about my song "UHART" that I released it on Friday, May 16th, and I'm here to break down every lyric on the song. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. And I'm gonna try my best to not make this video long, but if it is, a little bit long, I apologize. But it's just a lot to talk about today. And again, I hope you guys enjoy the video. And I'm here to break down the lyrics of my lead single, "You Heart." And yeah, let's get this started. And I'm gonna play the you know part to part of the song. So yeah, let's get started.
You heart, you heart, you heart, you heart. You heart, you heart, you heart, you heart.
And this is the parts of me seeing my chorus, saying "you heart, you heart," just saying it 8 times. On that chorus that I was saying, I just wanted to make the song catchy and just make it fun, and I just feel like I did a good job with it. And I just wanted to make it catchy and make it sound fun and just a lot of energy, you know what I mean? So that's why I say "you heart, you heart," the first 4 times. I didn't say another 4 times again. And remember, I produced this beat as well. Like, people forget that I produced this beat and produced the whole entire thing. So to say the first 4 times and then added ooh, ooh, and added that, and then that's when I say "you hard," 4 more times at the end. And then of course that's when I'm get head to the me rapping by. And you know that's that's about it. It's just me singing the chorus on the song. And again, I just wanted to make it fun and catchy and just enjoyable. And that's what I wanted to do. And that's what it's all about. So now I'm gonna go ahead and play my first verse of the song. And then after that, I'm gonna explain um every meaning of that first verse. What I said.
When I had my first ever interview with Emma Willis and Kate, it went so well for me when I got hired at the University of Harvard. I was so excited to be back where I was before. I love my position to be a grill helper.
All right, that was my first verse of the song called "UHART," and I'm gonna explain to you right now. When I said when I had my first ever interview with Emma Willis and Kate, Well, I remember it was on Friday, December 20th, the day that I had my first ever interview on anything. Because I never had an interview with anyone on a for a job, and that was like my first ever like interview on anything. And I was nervous for the interview, like every other person would. And when I had the interview with Emma Willis and Kate, um, you know, meeting them for the first time, obviously, and they would just ask me questions, and just ask me questions that it was expected on for an interview. And and surprisingly, I did a great job on my interview, because of course it was my first time ever. You know what I mean? Like, of course, when you do things for the first time, of course it's gonna be nerve wracking, and just a lot of stress, and just don't know what's going to happen once you do that. Once you do anything for the first time. And when I had my first ever interview with Emma Willis and Kate, they were just asking me about my experience, what did I do, what jobs that I'm working at right now. At the time, I was working at Jersey Mike's, and when I told them that, um, they were like, "Oh, um, if you're trying to apply for a grill helper, I need to be um like I have to work there like every single day, and I can't do both, you know what I mean, like cuz Kate said something on that day, that if I want to continue to work at Judging Mice, I could always, I could work, either Starbucks, or work as, like a janitor or something like that, to, clean bathrooms, and, things like that. And I was like, no, I just, I'm really trying to focus on, trying to get the grill helper, position. That's what I want. Because at the time I didn't want to do anything else but that, because I want to do something new, and I want to do more, the grilling and the cooking and stuff like that. And that's why I told them, and they just said okay. And if you want, if I want to work grill helper, and still want to do this, then do I I have to you know either ask them for work at a different day, or quit. I ain't quit, but I told my manager a couple of days after my interview, and of course I got hired, and I'm gonna get to that point in a minute. Because I remember it was on Monday, um December 23rd. That was my last day working at Jersey Mike's in Simsbury. And I didn't want to leave. I really didn't. I love working there. I love the people. They helped me get me that job, since day one. And I was just so grateful and thankful. They were able to, get me to that point, and I appreciate everything they did for me. And I will never forget that. And that was a tough moment for me. But I wasn't gonna work there for that long anyways, so might as well just leave now at that point. And now to the hired situation. I'm gonna get to the funny part real quick. Oh my god. When the interview was about to end, right? Because I asked Kate and Emma Willis, both of them, that I just asked them like, when do I know, if I'm hired? And then Kate said, oh, we call you on January 3rd. I don't know what day that was, but I remember she did say that it was January 3rd of this year, 2025, the day that she will call me to see if I'm hired or not. And then I just said okay, and then they just said, "Oh, nice to meet you. It was great finally meet you and this and that blah 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 and then that was the end of the interview. And then while I was still there, because I was putting my coat on, um just getting ready to go back to Hartford, because later on that day I went back to the second job that I work now on Fire by Forge, to tell them the news. I get to that point in a minute too. But now the funny part. While I was still there, getting ready, about to book a Uber to take me back to the Hartford, back to home. Um, Emma Willis comes back upstairs, right? Comes back upstairs. And she was like, she looked like she was like running, and opened the door, and she was like, "Oh, thank God you're still here. I thought you left already." And then we both was laughing and stuff, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna show you the people you get be with the next semester," and then and and then I was like, what? Cause like in my head I was like, why is she showing me, you know, the the stations, the people, if I'm not hired. So outside of my body, I asked her, wait, I was like, wait, I'm hired? And then she was like, yes, you hired. I was like, what? Like in my head, I was screaming, like in a happy way. Like I was freaking screaming. Like what the fuck? Cause like I had no idea. Cause like 1 minute ago, Kate just told me that January 3rd, the day that she was gonna call me to see if I'm high or not. Like, cause she didn't say I was, high right away like Emma Willis did, and I guess Kate told Emma Willis at the time that he I guess she liked my resume and what I do for daily living, and she just decided she wanted to hire me. And then I guess that's when Emma Willis came back upstairs, just to tell me that, and I was just like so happy, man. And then yes, and that was the funny part of that little story right there, how I got hired. Um, that completely changed my life, for sure. And then after she told me that I was hired, after I asked her that I could, about to show me everywhere, the stations and stuff. When she was showing me the stations, that's when, of course, I met, couple of the students, and then that's when I first met Aline for the first time, and then, of course, like 3 weeks later, that's when I was able to work with Aline for the first time, and I get to that point later on in the video, how I met Aline. But I met Aline for the first time, like saying hi, I'm Stevenson, and then telling her that the training program, where I came from, and things like that. But I'm mostly talking about like working with her for the first time, and again, I get to that point later in the video on my second verse of the song. But yeah, Emma Willis was just showing me the stations and what they are, and things like that, then telling me you know every week it changes, depending what you're doing during that week. And it was just awesome, man. I was You don't know how happy I was, guys. Like you don't know how happy I was. And it completely changed my life. It completely changed how I expected. So yeah, I would never take that for granted. So yeah, and that's how I got hired, by having my first ever interview with Emma Willis and Kate. And I never thought I was ever going to come back to University of Harvard, because before I even got hired to work at GSU, my first 2 years when I was at the other program, FETA, when I was doing the job sites and things like that, one of those job sites, it was me and my friend Chris. His real name is Christopher, but everyone calls him Chris because to make it easier. Um, yeah, so yeah, me and my friend Chris, every Tuesdays, we work at Commons, and literally like all we do is just clean tables for 3 straight hours. 3 straight hours. So like that's all we do. And for me personally, yeah, it could get boring at times. I'm not gonna lie. It got boring, just doing the same things over and over. But also at the same time, I liked it because it's commons, and food is everywhere. And clean the tables was not too bad. It was not too bad. It's just I just wish I would have done other things too, and not just doing the one thing over and over again. But I liked it personally. Because I get paid too. Like money. Like get paid. It wasn't a lot either, but at least I was getting something. You know what I mean? And it was only 3 hours. 3 hours straight too. And then of course we get a break after I shift. So because you can't get a break during my shift, because I'm not working, 4 or more hours. Me and my friend Chris was only working for 3. So like, you know, that's why I did, my first 2 years there, at University of Hartford, work at Commons, with Terry and Jeffrey and others, and just clean the tables for 3 straight hours straight. That's literally all we did. That's all we do. Literally. So that's why I did, me and my friend Chris, our first 2 years there. And then from that point, I just never thought I was gonna ever come back because of it. And I was okay with it if I didn't come back, because I could work at other places too, in the world. It's still a lot of things out there for me, even though I'm working at GSU now. There's other options, but I just never thought it would, working back at University of Hartford, what was that option. So that's why I was happy to be back. And that's why I thank God, man. And just never say never say anything. Never say never. Never say ever. Yeah. And then just later that day when I came back from the interview, I went to the Lyceum, and of course Becky and others. I forgot who else was there at the Lyceum and the office and stuff. But I remember Becky was there, and I told her when I told her the great news, she was like wicked happy, and because she knew all along I was going to get the job. It just a matter what position I was going to apply for, and I applied grill helper, and I feel like that was the best situation for me, which it was, and yeah, I was happy, and I'm happy that I did my first interview really well, and I was even more happy that I got the job the day that I did my first ever interview, and I was just proud of myself for it. I worked my ass off to be in this point, and you know, yeah, I would never take that for granted. And Becky was just like so happy for me, man. She was so happy for me, and and then she was like, "Oh, I can't wait to tell everyone on the group chat." I was like, "Well," and then everyone was just like saying congratulations, this and that. And then I went to the restaurant, 5x4s, um, to have a little celebration, and Susie gave me some champagnes, just to have a little celebration of my me getting hired at UHART. So I was just drinking some champagnes, just enjoying every moment of that day, and it was just a blessing, man. And the rest was history. The rest was history. And you guys know the rest of the story on that part. And now here I am working at GSU, as a grill helper, with Aline and and a couple of students. So I'm happy where I'm at, and I hope I get to work at that position, long as I can. That's my goal, and we'll see what happens in the near future. And yeah, that's all I need to explain on my first verse of my song, UHART. And now I'm gonna get to the chorus again. I always explain to that, but I'm just gonna go straight to my second verse of this song, UHART, and hear me out.
UHART, 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 UHART.
And this is the second round of my chorus, UHART, and then after this, my second verse.
UHART, 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 UHART. When I first met Aline on my first day, she was so excited to work with me. And everyone else felt the same way when they first met me. Every day I continue to learn and get better. Nobody's perfect. I love working at my new job. It's a dream come true.
And that was my second verse of the song UHART, and I'm going to explain to you guys right now. When I first met Aline on my first day, she was so excited to work with me. The reason why I say that part of my second verse is when I first met Aline, on my first day, you know, it was great. It was great, and I knew she was nice. I knew, she was excited to meet me for the first time because she's just looking forward to working someone like me that is hard worker, willing to learn, willing to accept feedback. If if that person like Aline has feedback, and then for me to be able to accept that, and then just teaching me that I don't know, and and learn from it and get better at it. So when I first met Aline, she was just amazing. She's a nice person. She's just a sweetheart, and just always willing to do anything to help me out with any situation. And she's there for me, and she loves me and loves everyone, and she is a really caring person, one of the caringest persons I know. um and I just love everything about her, and she's a hard worker as well. She will always do anything in her power to trying to get the business going, get things going, and she's always prepared for everything, and she's always making sure that I'm prepared and ready to go, and things like that. And I love a person like that, and is always take those things accountable, and and seriously, and I like that, and I like when people like Aline push me harder to get even better. You know what I mean? So that's why I was so excited to work with her, and I knew we was gonna have a work relationship, but also a great friendship as well. And she's one of my greatest friends. Like I said, we just always being honest to each other, no matter what, even if it's hurtful, or just things that you don't want to hear, but just going to say anyways. And yes, some moments last semester, we have some issues, but we always work through it, and talk about it, let our system, and that's what we always do. And we just always straight up together, and just always being honest to each other, and just be straight up with yourself. And that's what we both always do. And and that's how our relationship got stronger every day because of it. And then we trust each other, and we always look out for each other, and that's what we do. So yeah, it was exciting for me to work with her, and I knew moving forward till now, we was gonna have fun, just working together. And I like a person like Aline, just always pushing me to get better, whatever situation that I'm in. So that's the first sense of that. And everyone else felt the same way when they first met me. And yeah, they did feel the same way. They was excited as well, like when I first met Alex. Latoya, um, 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 if I say his name wrong, I'm sorry. Um, Jenny or Jen, something like that. Sorry, y'all. I'm not good with names. I'm not good with names at all. I'm terrible with names. But um, what's her face? Donette, Elaine's sister. Um, Mary. Um, Donette. Um, it's I could go long down the list of a lot of people that I work with and talk to every day. Um, but it was just a lot. Everyone was just excited for me to work there with them and meet me for the first time. It was great, and I'm glad I was able to be with them, and it's cool. It's very cool. And then the last part of it, every day I continue to learn and get better. Nobody's perfect. I love working at my new job. It's a dream come true. The meaning of that is that every day I continue to learn and get better. Nobody's perfect. The meaning of that is that I'm a type of person that always love to learn, and then if I mess that up, want to continue to get better and better each day. But if like for example, if you accidentally use like a spatula, so I'm just using this for example. If you accidentally use a spatula, but that's like for peanut butter only, a sandwich, and you fucked it up, you know, all you gotta do is just fix the problem, and just um change the sandwich, and just do it over, because nobody's perfect. Like, we all going to make mistakes in life. All you gotta do is just fix learn from that mistake and get better from it. That's the only way you get better from the experience that you know doing with. You know what I mean? So I always tell people that all the time, like, we all gonna make mistakes. We all going to mess up in life. It's all about learning from that mistake and getting better from it. That's what I always told people all the time, and that's why I told myself all the time. Yeah, you could get frustrated, if you mess that up and you made a mistake, but you can always come back from it. It's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? So, um, I just always tell people that all the time, not let yourself down, and just um always pick yourself up and just keep going. Don't ever stop. Keep going. And and just get better at it. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And it's true. I do love working at my job, and it really is a dream come true. Um, to be here and being back at campus again, like I was my first 2 years there at University Commons. And, and for me to be at GSU for the first time, and be work with the company, um, it really is a dream come true, and I'm blessed to be here. So I'm happy where I'm at, and yeah, yeah. Um, and then I'm gonna continue on um for the rest of the song.
UHART, 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 UHART. UHART, 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 UHART. This is Stevenson Michel. You know who this is. Peace out.
And that was the end of the song of UHART. And yeah, third and final round of my chorus, me saying UHART, UHART, and eight more times. And then at the end of it, I always say this to almost all of my songs. This is Stevenson Michel. You know who this is. And, that's my thing. Like, that's my my main thing. I always say it because that's my how you say it, that's my phrase. You know what I mean? To either start the song or to close out the song. I always say it on most of my songs, and just wanted to tell people who I am. You know what I mean? So, and then peace out. That's my thing. That's my normal nature. So yeah, that's the end of it. That was the end of the song, and guys, just want to say thank you guys taking a chance of watching my video of me breaking down my lyrics of my song UHART. And I'm truly blessed to to make this video and share this with you guys. And I love you guys with all my heart. So thank you guys for taking a chance to watch my video, and just me just talking by explaining this to you guys, lyric to lyric of my song UHART. And I hope you guys understand what I was saying most of this video. And I hope I do more of this in the near future. Sorry. Oh man. Water's good for you. But yeah, that's the end of the video. And if you guys haven't checked out my lead single UHART, please go check out right now on Spotify and all platforms. It's out there right now. Keep streaming my song, and and also my music video. is on Friday, September 12th. Make sure you guys, put that on your guys' reminder. And, of course, subscribe my YouTube channel. And, and once you do watch my music video when it comes out, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And, talk to you guys later. Thank you.